Such an honor to know him. We lean on each other, we talk to each other, we chat, we call. It is a great honor to introduce Dr. Shishir.
Good evening, friends. My name is Shishir and I'm an alcoholic. Sober today entirely by the grace of God. And congratulations on 250th Independence Day of US. Well, my date of sobriety is 6th of February 2021. I'll be completing 5 years and 5 months tomorrow. And it's just one day at a time program. And I'm fortunate to be a part of this group. And thanks, Leona, for inviting me to speak here. I'll tell my story in a couple of minutes and then I'll come to my topic. I had my first drink in Boston in 2017. I was in Boston Children's Hospital, and there was a convention going on, and by mistake I picked up a drink, which later I found called as mojito. And then the energy trigger in, and gradually I started picking up more drinks, and it went on increasing slowly and slowly. Previously, I used to have just a couple of drinks in a week. Then it became twice a week, thrice a week. And by the end of 2018, I was drinking every day. And I developed my first attack of pancreatitis, and I was hospitalized in Boston itself. Then I came back to India, and the insanity part set in. I was admitted for a few days. Then again, I used to get discharged. Within a couple of weeks, I used to start drinking again. And then again, I was getting admitted. And this became a cycle of my alcoholic pattern. I started drinking, getting admitted, getting discharged, again started drinking. And it became worse in 2020 during the COVID lockdown. It became 24/7. I was consuming alcohol 24/7 in 2020. And to cut the story short, on 18th of December 2020, my gastroenterologist just told on my face that I'm going to die in a couple of weeks. My wife was there, I was there. I had lost 60% of my body weight, and I was struggling to consume anything, even liquids. And my consultant told me that you just have a couple of weeks left for you, and that's it. That was kind of a rock bottom for me. And then I had to realize that I need to quit alcohol, and I was looking for ways how to quit alcohol. I was reading a book by Louis Hay. You can heal yourself, you can heal your life. And on the last page of that book, it was mentioned about Alcoholics Anonymous and the self-help programs where you can get rid of these things. And the address of Alcoholics Anonymous, New York, was there. I called them up. They gave me telephone number of somebody in New Delhi, India. He gave me telephone number of someone in Bombay. And during the COVID lockdown, only online meetings were available. And so the gentleman forwarded me the online meeting link of a meeting. And on 1st of January 2021, I did my first Alcoholics Anonymous online meeting. And soon after that meeting, I could identify that, yes, I belong here, whatever they are talking sense. And yes, I want what they have, sobriety. And after a month, I was in an executive board meeting. I was National Vice President of Indian Academy of Pediatrics. So in that National Executive Board meeting, there was wine being served, grape wine. Then my subtle mind told me that instead of drinking hard drink, let me drink grape wine and nothing will go wrong with me. And I took that wine and I ended up drinking 3 bottles of wine and just collapsing right on the doors of the aircraft where I was supposed to board and come home. And that was the last day I had my drink. That was 5th of February 2021. And I've been sober since 6th of February 2021, one day at a time. During my early sobriety, I got in touch with Leona in some of the meeting in Los Angeles, I believe. And since then, I am in touch with her. I talk to her on phone, get a lot of inspiration. And whenever I'm stuck, I give her a call, and she's kind enough to answer my calls. So today, the topic which I have chosen is the spiritual awakening. I'll be talking on the spiritual awakening because I cannot get sober until and unless I don't get the spiritual awakening. This is a very important topic for me because I'm suffering from a disease called alcoholism, and this disease is fatal, and this disease is beyond any human aid to cure. To get rid of this disease, I need to have a spiritual awakening, and I want a higher power. I want some power greater than myself, some power greater than human aid to help me overcome this disease. So, to have long-term sobriety, to have physical awakening, to have physical sobriety, and that would lead me to sanity, I have to ask three questions to myself. First question, what the problem is? Why am I suffering from this disease? The second question is, what is the solution to the problem? I need to know the solution. If I'm suffering from a disease, if someone is suffering from a disease, he goes to a doctor, he gets investigated, blood investigations, and there's different kind of investigations. So what is the problem? What is the solution to that problem? And how do I get the solution? What is the method to get the solution of that problem? These are the three questions which I want the answer, which I'll be talking about. Basically, drinking was not my problem. My problem was stopping. Once I start consuming drink, I cannot stop myself. There are people who drink almost every day, maybe just a couple of packs or one pack, and they go to sleep. But so the problem with me is once I stop, I don't have any breaks. My problem is stopping. I cannot stop myself. I go to oblivion. I just drink and drink and drink, and I don't know how to stop after two or three packs. So what am I supposed to do? The first thing which I'm supposed to do is I'm not supposed to pick up the drink because the first drink does the damage. If I talk about the allergy part mentioned in the big book, once I start consuming alcohol, after few ml I've consumed, the allergy part sets in. And once the allergy has set in, then it leads to craving. And once this craving part has overtaken my mind, then I cannot control myself. I want more and more and more. And this is how the cycle starts running. So I'm not able to stop. If I'm not able to stop, if I consume alcohol, then I'm allergic. The allergy triggers in, and the cycle goes on and on and on every day. So whenever I do that, when I wake up in the morning, I'm surrounded with a lot of fear, worry, resentment, anger, different kind of fears gather me in the morning, and I'm checking my phone, who I texted, whom I called when I was drunk, whom did I abuse, whom did I misbehave. These kind of worries start troubling me in the morning, and again, to get rid of those fears, I don't know how to get rid of those fears, and again, I go back to drinking. This is how the cycle starts running with me. Later, I developed mental obsession. Now I become obsessed to drink, and once the mental obsession is there, it triggers me to drink again and again and again, and I'm not able to think clearly. The only solution I can see is pick up the drink. So my problem is stopping. I just cannot stop myself. So the treatment, the is that I need to stay away from the drink. How to do that? I need to come to the meetings. I need to listen to the people, what people are sharing here, and I need to understand the program. If I don't, I keep getting into blackout. I keep getting into different kind of fears. I keep getting into different kind of resentments, which will lead to spiritual bankruptcy. And once I'm once I've developed acute pattern of chronic alcoholism, then I'm spiritually bankrupt, and my actions doesn't meet my thinking. I'll keep promising to my friends, to my relatives, to my parents, I'll do this for you, I'll do that. Or I swear I will not drink again. I'll keep swearing again and again. I'll just keep giving fake promises, but my actions are never going to meet my thinking. And the miracle is, after you do the step work, my actions start meeting my thinking. And then, if I don't stop myself, then as yet, it is mentioned in the book that as yet comes, whatever not has happened, it will come. Either I'll end up in jail, or in sanatorium, or I'll go mad, or I'll die a premature death. Everything what I've earned, what I've deserved is gone. Because it's a progressive disease, it doesn't stop. Even in the program, once I'm the part of this fellowship, once I'm in this program, I need to work this program each and every day because it's a progressive disease. If I pick up the drink even after many years of sobriety, the same energy will trigger, the same pattern will start developing, and maybe I'll black out sooner than before. So I have to identify my as yet, that I don't want to be homeless, I don't want to be bankrupt, I don't want to land up in jail, I don't want to land up in sanatorium, and I don't want a premature death. So I need to work on this program. And once I've hit the rock bottom, because as mentioned, it's 12 by 12, that hitting the rock bottom is must. And I have hit my rock bottom. And I've realized the only solution for my recovery is this program, one day at a time. Alcohol is my best advocate. Alcohol teaches me my first lesson. My first step is done with the help of alcohol, because after consuming alcohol for a long time, I have hit my rock bottom. And now I have admitted that I'm powerless over alcohol, and I need help from higher power. I cannot do it alone. I need help from the higher power. And to get that help, I have to do that step. With the help of this 12-step program, I'll get closer to my God of my own understanding. The first thing which I need to inculcate in myself is acceptance. Once I have accepted, then my actions will start changing. Acceptance is the solution to all my problems, and acceptance is the answer to this program. Once I start accepting, once I've accepted the spiritual program, then the miracle will start happening in my life, and I'll start getting more and more spiritual. The first thing which I'm supposed to do is self-honesty. I have to be honest with myself. If I'm honest with myself, if I'm not consuming alcohol, if whatever things I'm doing and I think I'm not supposed to do, and I'm practicing self-honesty, then I start getting better physically, I start getting better emotionally, mentally, and financially. All kind of improvement, threefold development starts happening in my life, and the grace of God starts entering in my life. My root cause of this illness is spiritual bankruptcy. So I always have to remember my problem. My problem is not stopping. And the solution is complete abstinence from that first drink, because first drink does the damage. If I don't stop myself and I keep on consuming again and again the seven deadly sins, starts getting heavy on me. The seven deadly sins are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. So these are my seven deadly sins which I have been practicing since a long time and which gets more and more aggravated. These character defects get more and more aggravated when I'm drunk, when I'm in consumption. So I have to become free from these character defects, and these character defects live with me always. But to get rid of these character defects, I have to work the program one day at a time. Once I start doing the steps, I take a spiritual advisor or a sponsor, and I start working the step work with the sponsor. I start getting the grace of God. I start the spirituality, the spiritual part starts coming in, and I realize that I'm not a madman, but I'm a sick man, and my sickness part needs to be taken care of, and the sickness, the spiritual sickness, can be taken care of by the help of only and only spirituality. What is the solution? Solution is spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening can be is written in the big book on the appendix 2, change in my thinking. My thinking can be changed with a set of new ideas, with a set of new principles. And the new ideas and new principles can be, is given with the help of this 12-step program. Once I have developed new set of ideas, new set of principles, my outlook towards life, my outlook towards problems starts changing. And there is a complete and profound personality change which happens in me with the help of this 12-step program, which is the only solution to come out of this disease. And the spiritual solution is this 12-step program. That I admitted that I'm powerless over alcohol, my life has become unmanageable. Then I started believing in a power greater than myself, which could restore me to sanity. And I made a decision to turn my will and our life over to the care of God as I understand Him. Then I made a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself. After that, I admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, a sponsor or a spiritual advisor, being the exact nature of my wrong. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character defect, which I was just talking about. Humbly asked God to remove my shortcomings, made a list of all the persons I had harmed, and I became willing to make amends to them all. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so, I would injure them or others. And step 10 is my favorite step. I continue to take personal inventory, and when I was wrong, I promptly admitted it. So this is how I go practicing the program each and every day. And then once I'm through with these steps, I start doing the prayer and meditation to improve my conscious contact with God as I understand Him. I'm praying only for His knowledge, His will for us, and the power to carry that out. And then the spiritual and the 12th step is that having had a spiritual awakening as a result of this step, this is the most important part of this step work. As a result of these steps, if I'm doing these steps, if I on a daily basis, on a regular basis, then I'm definite to get a spiritual change, because as it is written in the big book, rarely have you seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Yes, that is true. If I am able to follow this spiritual 12-step program path, I'm pretty sure nobody will fail ever. If, as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to another alcoholics and to practice these principles. And it is written in the next paragraph, This is not a program of perfection. This is a program of progress. Nobody is perfect in this program. We all have to practice it one day at a time, gradually and slowly, one day at a time. Once I start practicing this program on a regular basis, 180-degree change starts happening in me. And my only solution is spiritual awakening. My motive, which was different before I did the step work, my motive towards life, towards people, place, situation change starts changing. And this was told by Dr. Paul Young. This program was given by, the initiation of this program was done by Dr. Paul Young. He had a patient, his name was Warren Edge, and the principle of a spiritual awakening was told to him. And the new set of ideas were born with the help of the Oxford group, which Roland Hodge had met. They had 6 steps, which was discussed by between Roland Edge and Dr. Bill W. And then the 12-step program was floated to us with the help of Dr. Paul. And this 12-step program has changed life of millions of people across the globe, including me. Alcohol was just a symptom, and my disease was spiritual bankruptcy. I was full of character defects, which I needed to work on. And the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. The first thing which came out was self-centered fear. And the basic part of self-centered fear, there are 3 parts of self-centered fear. First, I may not get what I want. 2, I may lose what I have. And 3, I may be found out. My secrets, I may be suffering from shame and guilt. So these are the basic 3 fears which I have. I may not get what I want. I may lose what I have, or I may be found out. When I take my inventory and the basic cause, the first, I was able to express my feelings. I was not able to express my feelings properly when I'm working on my root cause with my sponsor. Then gradually, after doing the steps, especially after doing step 4 and 5, I'm able to find out that I was suffering some kind of inferiority complex, some kind of shame, I was having a lot of fears inside me. And I was not able to express my feelings to people around me. I was not able to express each and everything I wanted to say, and to suppress that, to suppress my inferiority complex, my fears, I had to drink alcohol again and again. And alcohol used to give me some kind of relief, temporary relief from those fears for some time. And then I need to get, once I start doing the step work, my actual self starts coming out, and the spiritual awakening starts happening, and a lot of miracles start happening in my life. I start getting a lot of help from unknown sources. The God starts doing for me what I cannot do for myself, and God is doing for me what I cannot do for myself. The spiritual awakening has helped me to live the life happy, joyous, and free, with no hatred, no envy, no jealousy, no resentment, no fear. Once I have done my steps, when I have done my inventory with my sponsor, most of my fears went away. Before getting angry, I feel like if I get angry, if I do something wrong, I'll have to make a mind. It's better not to get angry. So lot of positives have come out, and I'm living a better and happy life. And if at all, there are situations, we have problems each and every day. We have different situations each and every day. But this program has taught me to live the life with calamity, with serenity. Nothing changes around me, but I change up. And my perspective changes. Once I am out of it, then I'm able to handle everything with serenity when the biggest calamity is. I was reading a book, and there was A comes of age. And in that A comes of age, the meaning of happiness was written. The meaning of happiness was good future and good luck, serenity, sanity, good health on a continuous basis. So the happiness comes once I do this step work. The happiness starts living with me. I am having a happy, serene, and happy way of life. And miracles have started happening in my life. There are so many things which are happening on their own, which I didn't even expect. So I am enjoying the fruits of sobriety. Every day is getting better with the help of this 12-step program and with the help of this spiritual awakening. This is a beautiful program. This is a gift of God to me. And I'm really fortunate that I am an alcoholic and I could become a part of this program and I could do this 12-step program. And with the help of this fellowship, I found so many friends all across the globe. So I'm really fortunate to be a part of this meeting today. And thank you so much for inviting me to share. Have a wonderful evening and happy 250th Independence Day. Thank you.